Rhea Ripley officially chooses her challenger for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I'm not with it.
I think the issue is, right. I think the issue is it doesn't feel like a big match to me. Like it doesn't feel like a big time match. Listen, I get the story. I get that they probably want to give Rhea that moment in a non-COVID environment. Um, I get that Charlotte probably was the better person to hold on to the title at WrestleMania in 2020. You know what I mean? That was probably the best decision to make with an uncertain time, having an uncertain champion that's new. It probably wasn't the best time to do it in 2020. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like I understand. Rhea is way more over than she was in 2020. She's a fully fleshed out character. I don't know how this story is going to work. The creative for it last time was really bad. Me and we were there, Meelz, with this storyline. Charlotte made her look like an idiot for like 3 months until they had that match, and it was good, but she looked like a complete dunce after that match. I feel like it hurt Rhea. I feel like Rhea had been hurt for like the first 2 years of her main roster career. I'm just gonna keep it 100. It just doesn't feel big time to me. I feel like, and obviously there might be a lot of things that lead to this or that have caused this to be the decision that they've gone. I do wish it was Bianca Belair. I really think that's the bigger and most exciting match to me because there's actual doubt that Bianca could win. With this, I feel like if Charlotte loses, that's another wasted reign. And you've just given her another reign. And if Rhea wins, it's like, okay, you finally beat Charlotte. You're on SmackDown now. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like I need to see the creative. I don't know. I wasn't feeling it.
I feel like so. My thing was she came out, she did the promo, and throughout the promo, she didn't really acknowledge Bianca Belair. That was my first little issue. Um, she acknowledged that she had two choices, but ultimately she decided to go with something that's, I guess, been looming in her past. When clearly, I think the most opportune and honestly, the most refreshing and probably more entertaining of the feuds was right there in front of her with Bianca Belair. With Charlotte, you're not going to get a lot out of it. You're not going to get as much as you want out of Charlotte. Charlotte has to look strong. She just has to. She's beating up fucking Sonya Deville on Friday. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how the creative is going to... It's not very flexible with what you can do with Charlotte compared to Bianca Belair. I think, honestly, out of the matches that could have been considered, which one could have been Bianca versus Charlotte, one could have been Bianca versus Rhea, one could have been Charlotte versus Rhea. I think Charlotte versus Rhea is probably the least exciting match out of the bunch. I kind of wish it was a triple threat or something now. Because on one hand, I feel like I don't see it for Charlotte versus Rhea as it being this top notch match. I mean, we had it in 2021 in the Thunderdome, and we've seen what they can do. But to me, it isn't like a top billing match considering the heel that Rhea has been coming and the environment she's infested on Raw, and the only person on Raw who can kind of stand up to that. But in that same thought, Triple H loves Rhea Ripley. He's loved Rhea Ripley for years. She won she won a War Games 4-on-2. She became the sole survivor to Survivor Series in 2019.
And then got nerfed by Charlotte in that April. And they
Yeah. Once she got up to the main roster and it was out of Triple H's control. But he loves Rhea, and I think he wants to make Rhea just as big of a star as Bianca Belair without having to sacrifice Bianca Belair.
Okay.
However,
I like that. You know what? I like that. I like what you just said there.
However, you kind of do sacrifice Bianca Belair a little bit because the spot for her at WrestleMania isn't as big as the last 2 years, or really as big as it would have been against Charlotte or Rhea Ripley. Are we really maximizing the potential of Bianca Belair in this moment?
No,
But
and I'm fucking worried. I'm worried. I'm lipo to the end of me, but it
of
feels like
course,
after the story, the Becky story ended, we've just been kind of treading water.
because
You know what
we
I'm
were like,
saying?
okay, it's gonna be Charlotte
And it felt like that, and
or
obviously,
Ronda.
or Ronda. Yeah, you're right. And we've got a reign that needs some adversity. We've got a reign that needs something that Bianca can sink her teeth into. There's no doubt she's a star. She's a star with or without the belt. We know this already. But I want her to. I feel like at this point, I would be like, yo, Liv and Asuka would go crazy at WrestleMania if they want to do that. That'd be a crazy match. You know what I'm saying? Anything Liv does, I'm paying attention to. With Bianca, you have your choices here, right? For the women's elimination chamber. Who's in it right now? Um
Raquel, Liv, Asuka,
and
somebody.
possibly Dewdrop,
There's only two more
Carmella,
spots left.
and we don't know who the last spot's gonna go to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I feel like the last spot, whoever gets it is gonna be the one that wins it. The fact you got SmackDown women in it is kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, that's nuts to me. I'm like, what? Nikki Cross. I was like, Nikki Cross? Okay.
It can't be. She's beaten all of them, Meelz.
She's beaten all of them.
She's beaten all of them. I don't mind if she runs something back, but it's like, is there enough time for that story to have something you can sink your teeth into? I'd be like, yo, fucking run Alexa back. They've done more in the last 2 months than she's done with any of these people.
I agree.
Like it just doesn't make like I'm worried that they're cutting their nose to spite their face right now, and that they're trying to make Rhea look strong, but in your point, not sacrificing it by pinning Bianca, but making Bianca kind of like secondary right now. She needs a big time Hollywood big time match. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If it is Ronda and she decides to come back and do that, all right, I'm a little cooler with that. I'm cool with that. Ronda's cool. I could deal with that. She better come with her A game, but I'm cool with it. But we thought that the two people we thought she was gonna face are facing each other. How
Which is
crazy is
nuts.
this? That's crazy.
It makes me wonder what the hell actually happened
Between Ronda
with
and
this
Charlotte?
Ronda thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because to me, the plan was, I feel like, was Becky versus Ronda. I can feel that was at least a plan for sure, which would have left all three other girls able to mix it, flex it, whatever combination of it could have been a triple threat. I would have applauded a triple threat: Charlotte
Mhm.
versus Rhea versus Bianca at WrestleMania.
Mhm.
Sign me up.
Mhm.
Uh, um, but Ronda's gone. No sign. Not at the Rumble. Not at anywhere. Just, and we haven't seen any reports about where she's gone or what she's did or something along those lines. We haven't seen any reports on anything. Um, but the pivot to Charlotte, and not only just Charlotte, this is Charlotte as a face. So
I
it's
will
not peak
say
Charlotte.
it ain't peak Charlotte. I have been enjoying Charlotte as a face.
I like
I
Charlotte as a face.
I think you got something here. Like, listen, you got something here with Rhea. You got something here with her as a heel and her wanting to right the wrong that Charlotte did to her in 2020. You got something as Charlotte as the cocky face right now. That's for the people. I think what you got here, honestly, is giving Charlotte some adversity, but it's like, can we pass a little bit of it around a little bit?
She's beaten her so many different times. I'm like, what kind of adversity is, they would have to build a lot. Like Charlotte would have to, like, damn, I can't believe Charlotte has a cybernetic arm now. Can't
Well,
believe Rhea Ripley destroyed her arm.
I think the idea of what they do here is say that now that she's got the Judgment Day, now that she's got some help, now that she's a little bit more sure of who she is, she's a lot more dangerous than she was in 2020. And again, I can vibe with that story, but I really feel like the story that you should have been telling is with the fucking Bianca, right? Like that's what we want to see. We want to see the future. You know what I mean? We want to see not even the future. We want to see Bianca and Charlotte. That's the one. I thought we was getting it back to back to back Meelz with the horsewomen. I thought we was getting it back to back to back. I thought we was gonna run it that way.
I thought it would have been a great story. And they could have, well, this is my pie in the sky booking. I'll leave it for another show. But I thought it would have been a great booking. Bianca Belair, Charlotte. That's money. Even if, if Charlotte wins, it's not out of the realm that Charlotte wins that match either. But if Bianca wins, big moment.
Where do you go? She will have been champion for a year. I think a couple day or 2 days after Mania this year. I think it'll be 365.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna lose when they start mentioning that because they haven't mentioned it yet.
Yeah, but her versus, if I'm picking who she's gonna face at WrestleMania, I'm assuming it's Asuka.